Grand Rising, everybody. Pretty Richie's what they called them. Yes, Pretty Richie from Pretty Richie Fantasy Football World. Grand Rising, everybody. As usual, just got finished my workout. It's the first thing I do in the morning, baby. That's one of the things that I value, good health. Yes, sir. But I just wanted to go over some things. Post waiver wire video that I did yesterday. Okay. I'm seeing, I just don't want people who made it to or are going to make it to the fantasy playoffs to avoid some things such as overcompensating for your roster by getting people off of waivers that may diminish your team, the power of your team. Okay, there's people out there who you should not even be looking at. Okay, if you just protect your roster, protect your lineup, you guys should be looking to handcuff any first top 3 round selections for that you drafted, especially the running backs. You want to handcuff them just in case they go down. Okay, that's going to give your team a safe floor. Okay, there are no boom guys out there on waivers right now that's going to win you a champion. It's week 14. You got to keep that in mind. So keep that in perspective moving forward. Okay, unless you get like a major player that goes down, like a Lamar Jackson, Tyler Huntley, he's going to do well, but I don't think he's going to do well enough to be a league winner. Okay. Now, in quarterback 2 leagues, the Superflex leagues, Tyler Huntley, yes, he's serviceable. He's serviceable, definitely. But is he going to win you a fantasy championship league? Absolutely not. So do not get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not get it twisted. Like I said, my video is not going to be long. I make my videos the way that God made me, short and sweet, baby. So I'm going to give you the sauce and then get on up out of here. So, like, with that being said, a person that I did miss that I forgot to put on my waiver wires was Tyler Huntley, because Lamar Jackson is going to be out 1 to 3 weeks with his injury. You definitely want to watch his matchups. The only thing good about Huntley is he's got legs, he's got wheels, he can run the ball. You know that. He scored a rushing touchdown last week, last second notice when Lamar went down with injury. But remember, Lamar Jackson's numbers have been very subpar for where he was drafted, okay, because Rashad Bateman is out. They're double and triple teaming Mark Andrews, the superior tight end. Isaiah Likely, the backup tight end, he's been a darling of a surprise sleeper. You know what I mean? But you really want to rely on a rookie tight end to carry to the championships during fantasy playoffs. That's his greatest weapon right now. Devin Duvernay is very erratic, very inconsistent. So he's now going to provide Tyler Huntley with any major options at the wide receiver position. Marcus Robinson is a desperation flex play himself. So do you really want to go out and spend a higher waiver wire selection on a quarterback 2 for a quarterback scoring leagues? Now, if you only start on one quarterback, don't even look at Tyler Huntley if you got a decent quarterback. And I'm talking like a top 15 quarterback that's been producing week in and week out. Like I said, again, this is week 15. You got the waiver wire volume right now should be like very non-extent. There should be only 8 players going off of waivers right now that you should be spending a high priority on, unless somebody like Nico Collins is out there. Like I heard last night that in certain formats, Nico Collins is only 30% owned, the wide receiver from the Houston Texans. That should not be. He should be at least 60 to 70% owned in all formats, regardless of the scoring format, for obvious reasons. The other, there's a running back from the San Francisco 49ers. In the event that you have Christian McCaffrey, you got to get running back Jordan Mason. Okay, because we all know the history of Christian McCaffrey. Okay, he is injury prone. He's had a good season. He's avoided the injury bug thus far, but you would hate for a 2nd to 3rd round fantasy draft pick go down in week 15, week 16. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have Jordan Mason. He's the running back that I like best of them all. I know they got Tevin Coleman, but don't forget Tevin Coleman was a healthy scratch last week. If they didn't like what they saw in Jordan Mason, Tevin Coleman would have been activated for week 14. I'm just saying. And like I went over my other waiver wires, and I'll go over them real quick again. And if any of those are on out there for availability, you should only be picking up one or two players off of waivers at this point, unless I can see you getting a third player off of waivers in the event that you have a key player, a key starter in your lineup that is on a bye this week. If they're on a bye this week or a bye next week, you can pick them up. Like I said again, just to go surmise my video from yesterday, that some people contacted me and let me know that they missed on this platform. So that's why I'm doing it here on YouTube straight up. Like I said yesterday, I said Jared Goff is a pickup. Zonovan Knight is a pickup. I like him. I like him as a runner. I think, I know he's just a rookie. I don't even think he was drafted, but either way, I think he showed enough. He showed the coaching staff enough to earn a role within that offense. Okay, he earned a role within that offense. He's going to get some touches in the red zone. You know what I mean? He should be the goal line back because he beat out veteran James Robinson. Okay, and he's a bigger than Ty Johnson, who's a receiving back. Michael Carter is still dinged up. They're going to protect their asset. He's the best runner back in the backfield. So why would the Jets just rush Michael Carter back out there and give him a full workload? Even if Michael Carter is healthy, he's going to get some spread. He's going to be sprinkled in within the offense just to get him back in the groove, just so the coaching staff can see, okay, yes, he is fully healthy. So you cannot dismiss Zonovan Knight. He's still worth a RB3 or a high flex play moving forward. Okay, James Cook, I talked about getting him because he's splitting carries or even a little bit more than Devin Singletary, and he probably is more talented. Okay, like I said, he's a rookie, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Devin Singletary or undercut his talents as a running back, because he's good as well. And in certain types of matches, you can squeeze that backfield. You can start both of them, especially in PPR scoring formats. Okay, Cam Akers, I like Cam Akers is starting to come alive. Cam Akers is running like he has something to prove, like he's trying to show everybody that he deserves to be the number one running back within that offense. Now, like I said, the Rams offense is decimated with injuries, key injuries. Like I told you yesterday, Stafford's out, Allen Robinson's out, Cooper Kupp's out. I mean, come on now. You really want anybody from that offense? If you can avoid that offense, I would. But if you're going to pick somebody up who may boom and give you a consistent RB2 floor for fantasy purposes, Cam Akers could be your guy if one of your running backs goes down with injury during the fantasy playoffs. Joshua Kelly, those are for you guys who own Austin Eckler. If you don't own Austin Eckler, I wouldn't look too hard at Joshua Kelly, because he's been in the league now, I believe, for 4 years now, and he has years to wow, and he just hasn't. Okay, Darius Slayton. Okay, there's no way in the world that he should be on waivers, but I'm seeing in certain formats. It depends on who you play with, what form and scoring league you play for. But some of these guys are still available in week 14. Darius Slayton, no wide receiver one at any position or any team should not be on waivers. That's why I'm big on Nico Collins, because he's now the bona fide wide receiver one in the Houston Texans offense. I'm not saying to start these guys as your wide receiver one in your lineups, but they're worthy of a flex play. I'll tell you that. DJ Chark, they're saying that go with him. I'm not buying it. Amar St. Brown, Jared Goff. When you look at a wide receiver, you got to look at the quarterback who's throwing him the ball. Jared Goff can only support one bona fide alpha male stud wide receiver with any offense, and that is Amar St. Brown. And unless he gets hurt, he's going to do what he do, and there's only going to be scraps left for the other wide receivers on that field. Jared Goff has only has eyes for Amon St. Brown. Don't get it twisted. And I mentioned Hunter Renfrow. He's coming back from injury, from the IR list. Okay, I wouldn't trust it. I like Mac Hollins better. I think Mac Hollins over the last 4 weeks has shown enough to have earned that role as the slot receiver within the offense moving forward. Now, will they rotate just to see where Hunter Renfrow is when it comes to game speed? Because practice speed and game speed are two different things. And so they're going to rely on Mac Hollins because he's giving it to him. He's giving them consistent production at the slot receiver position. So if I were you, I would not pick up Hunter Renfrow. And last but not least, Greg Dulcich at tight end position and Evan Ingram. Those are my two tight ends. Like if you got, like I said yesterday, if you got Cole Kmet, the Bears, they're on the bye. If you got Robert Tonyan, the Packers are on the bye. Greg Dulcich from the tight end from the Broncos and the tight end for Jacksonville Jaguars, Evan Ingram. Those are the only two guys who you should be going after to fill that void this week. Okay, for week 14. So with that being said, don't believe the hype with all these guys who came out and had a good splash game or a splash 2 games or something like that. Do not destroy your lineup by being overzealous with the waiver wire. Okay, do not believe the hype. Do not fall for fool's gold. Stick with what got you there. Always start your studs. Don't get cute. Okay, don't say, "Oh, look, guys, I benched a Jonathan Taylor to start James Cook." A lot of people, there may be some people crazy enough out there to do something like that. But during the fantasy football players, you do not bench your studs. Okay, unless you get reports out there that they are not at 100%, and you get like a James Cook who has an outstanding matchup. That's the only time you should even fathom starting somebody other than a top 8 selection that you drafted during fantasy football at the beginning of the season for that league. Okay, so like I said, if you have a bona fide running back, make sure you have their handcuff. Make sure you got Alexander Madison if you got a James Cook. Okay, make sure you got Joshua Kelly if you got Austin Eckler. You know, you guys know who the backups are. You know what I mean? Deion Jackson, if you got Jonathan Taylor, make sure you got those guys. The running back position is very volatile. People get hurt. Jordan Mason if you got Christian McCaffrey, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Look at the depth charts. You know what I mean? It'll let you know who to get, who not to get, who to stay away from, who to shy away from. But at the wide receiver position, you do not have to handcuff. The wide receiver position, you have at least 2 or 3 good wide receivers that are going to be serviceable for you enough during the fantasy football playoffs and championships. So you don't have to handcuff any wide receivers. Tight end, you don't have to handcuff them either, unless you got Mark Andrews. Isaiah Likely is probably the only tight end handcuff that I would consider, but your bench has to be at least 20. At least 10. You got to have at least 10 starters and 10 bench, and you can consider Isaiah Likely. So with that being said, don't overdo it. Don't ruin your strong lineup. Right now, you want to consolidate. You want all your strong studs to be in lineup. You want to be putting together your strongest lineup. If you want to get cute and take away somebody that you know that made the playoffs and they have a strong roster, they got a strong team, they got good matchups coming forward because you're doing extra research on your competition, which is nothing wrong with. You can play keep away. You can go on waivers and play keep away and grab somebody that may give them a hole in the event that he has a key injury go down on that team. Okay, but you shouldn't be drafting or going on waiver wire and getting no more than 2 key players off of waiver wires. That's it. Or don't even look at waivers at all if you have a strong enough time. If you're 10-3, 10-4, what have you, 11, you know, you got a good strong and you're ranked 1 and you're ranked number 2, waivers should be very minimal for you guys. Okay, so that with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. I value your time. I value my time. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. I love you. You guys can see all my contact information underneath my channel. Feel free to join my Discord channel, my Patreon channel, my Twitter channel, and be able to communicate with me more often and ask anything you want. But with that being said, I love you guys, and you guys have a great day. Yes, sir. Pretty Richie in the house. Boom. Ball game.